me by the hand, show me the way I can go. Take me by the hand, show me the way.
He did more to rise up African music. Mandela of African music, Papa Wemba Shungwe Mbadio. Respectfully known as the King of Rumba, he fused the African tradition with Western pop and rock influences. Co-founder of Zaiko Langa Langa and the owner of Viva la Musica. His voice is gold, and his music makes you want to dance. Who is Papa Wemba, the King of Rumba? It was in the southern Congo, former Zaire, in the Kasai River region that Papa Wemba was born in 1949. His real name was Jules Shungwe Mbadio Pene Kikumba, a child who was nicknamed Papa for being his mother's eldest son. While Papa was still a baby, the family moved to Leopoldville, the former capital of Congo in the Belgian colony. His father, an ex-soldier who fought in the Belgian army during the Second World War, became a hunter and often went off into the forest. His mother was a professional mooner, an essential traditional part of all funereal vigils and works. By regularly taking her son with her, she introduced him to music and song, which very quickly became a passion for the child. However, his father was totally opposed to his son becoming a musician and dreamt of him becoming a journalist or lawyer. After his father's death in 1966, the young man wasted no time in his musical ambitions. He became a cantor of his parish in the church of Saint Joseph and developed a very high voice. In the 1969, he was in at the birth of one of the biggest Zairean group of the 17th, Zaiko Langa Langa.
Oh mon amour, mais alors je n'ai en avant. Mais alors, chouchouna, nakatoke. Na pesi amote mape bolingo chouchouna.
Since the 15th, the whole of Africa had been dancing this Afro-Cuban rumba, popularized by Joseph Kabasele, the star of the day, then by Franco in the 16th. Papa Wemba very quickly became a star and dominated the group. At his 28 years old, Papa Wemba finally formed his own band, a group of about 15 musicians, Viva la Musica, which after numerous changes still exists today, 20 years later. After the time, the young man was a star throughout the old Zaire and beyond the rivers which encircle the country. Not only Viva la Musica entertained the people through their songs, but also fans inspired by the band's style of dress began dressing similarly and were known as sape, taken from the expression la société des ambianceurs et des personnes élégantes. In the suburbs of Kinshasa, covering a large residential area, Wemba recreated a village, the village of Molokai, and established himself as the headman. Around 1979, he sang for a few months with the Africa International Orchestra of Taboli, another Zairian star with whom Papa Wemba had already worked in the 16th. Then in 1980, he toured Africa with his hit Analengo, which sold 16,000 copies. In 1983, Papa Wemba recorded an album with the French musician Hector Zouzou. The two artists combined their culture, and the album Malimba is an early example of a fusion between African rumba and synthesized sound.
Le colonel Chomba, fidèle des fidèles. Yokarumba, Binarumba. Mpo, bapese longimbote.
While journey between Zaire and France were becoming more and more regular, Papa Wemba did not neglect Africa, undertaking length tours like the one in April 1983 in the west of the country as far as Rwanda and Burundi. At that stage in his career, Papa Wemba had already recorded about 60 singles and several albums. Tireless workers, he was one of the pillars of African music in terms of quality and frame. In 1984, Papa Wemba took up acting in the Franco-Zairian film La Vie est Belle. With his eye fixed on Europe, Papa Wemba finally moved there in 1986 and very quickly became a world music star.
Yo ebende, ngai ebende, sikoyo nani aleki nani. C'est la faiblesse qui avale la force.
1989, he toured all over the United States with the African Review, Africa Oye, then returning to the land of the rising sun in the first few months of 1991, this time to record an album produced by a Japanese. Papa Wemba came back from Asia with 2 records under his belt, Le Voyage. Containing a new version of 10 to 15 years old tracks and a live album. Promoting the new Le Voyage album took him around the world again, setting out from Africa in June. The tour concludes the following year in Europe. In 1993, he spent a lot of time with Peter Gabriel, an English musician and former of the famous world music label Real World. Le Voyageur had already been issued on this label, but the two men planned working on a new album together. In the meantime, Peter Gabriel offered Papa Wemba the support slot during an American and European tour. Although the Africa had already played in these countries many times, the Englishman gave him the opportunity to play before several thousand spectators in concert halls and even stadia. In France, the two artists appeared in the huge Parisian concert hall at Bercy. 16,000 seats were there.
Vitesse et Al-Qaïda et l'équipe fusée. Armée rouge de Papa Wemba. Trésor Ngando Papa Yoji. Okwei Tonyatio. Oneli Okonela yo nanani. Mawatro. Ezali très chéri.
He returned to the stage of La Cigale, the starting point of a French tour, on the 20th May. In September, along with the Senegalese artist Youssou N'Dour, he received the first African Musical Prize in the Best Artist category. Then, at the end of the year, Papa Wemba got together again with his legendary group Viva la Musica for a new album, Pole Position, which came out in early 1996.
Amen. Amen.
Je suis mannequin, tu es mannequin, elle est mannequin, nous sommes mannequin, vous êtes mannequin, ils sont mannequins.
The following year, Papa Wemba took off on a tour that took him around the globe. Then he returned to the studio to record a new album, Bakala Dia Cuba, which was released later that year in December 2001. In the spring of 2008, Papa Wemba released a new album entitled Kakayo with his group Viva la Musica. On this new album, the king of Rumba reached out a helping hand to the generation, inviting 15 young up and coming artists into the studio with him. The accent was also on the young generation for the album, Not Repair, commercialized in 2010, featuring input from Congolese singer Nathalie Makoma and Ivorian rapper Nash, along with the French singer Ophélie Winter.
Bologna, couleur huitième merveille.
Papa Wemba also sought inspiration from vintage musicians like Léon Bukassa and Franco to put together the collection, mainly destined for the local markets at the same time.
Soni Kamana na kata chambre ngamoko contre similio abasi usingo ya ugo.
At the same time, he decided to record another album aimed at the more international public. The release of this second album part entitled Not Repel Worlds or Wembadio, and including participation from the Guinean singer Sekuba Bambino and the guitarist Simon Diaz, was postponed time and again. When the Pope visited Benin in November, Papa Wemba was invited to play in Cotonou and finish the year with a concert in Togo and Equatorial Guinea. In June 2014, his double album Maître de Col came out.
Gus, ceux qui vont mourir te saluent.
The singer, now in his 16th, explained that the main was to champion rumba, including a duet with his compatriot Barbara Kanan. The Marian Nana Kuyatre and Jibe Mpiana established the icon of the Congolese scene. During his life, Wemba acted in a few more successful films, although he played only minor roles. As recently as 2012, he had a cameo role in the Belgian drama film Kinshasa Kids. There are his many music videos and recorded bands performing. Also, Wemba has been featured in many documentary films that were well received. These include the importance of being elegant. Now Now Wemba's fans are throwing tears for his departure.
Mwingine naenda, mwingine nabakia huruma juu ya safari. Safari, oh, safari, umeumiza moyo.
Wemba died at the age of 66 after collapsing on stage in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, during the Fumua Urban Music Festival on Sunday, 24 April 2016.
Kwa nguvu ya Mola, tutaonana tena.
Papa Wemba, the king of Rumba, will remain in the hearts of Africans as Mandela of African music.
Wende, wende ndugu, kisha masiku kwa nguvu ya Mola, tutaonana tena.
Papa Wemba Shungwe Mbadio.
Mimi leo naenda, tumelakana nawe. Maji yangu yamecho, inenitoka na huruma kwa kuona watu wawili wanakabulana. Mwingine naenda, mwingine nabakia huruma juu ya safari. Safari, oh, safari, umeumiza moyo. Wende, wende ndugu, kisha masiku kwa nguvu